Hey everyone, thanks for joining. So easiest thing you can do to find inspiration to make more music. I feel like all the time I'm constantly making things, right? We're constantly expected to produce a lot. We're working, we're on Zoom calls, we're meeting with people, talking on the phone, making food, a lot of stuff. We're always putting out, you know, energy. And that's a lot of our creative energy is in there, right? So then at the end of the day, when we want to make music, we're kind of depleted, right? Physically, but also our creative juices are kind of just spent. You put all your creative juices into like whatever, the emails that you wrote and all the stuff that you made during the day. The same way that we replenish our bodies by like sleeping, eating and exercising, we need to also replenish our sort of creative energy, right? This is a concept borrowed from the book The Artist's Way, which I really recommend if you haven't read it or you don't have it. And one way to do this is to take yourself out on self dates or like artist dates. Just yourself, not with a buddy, not with your partner, not with your boyfriend or your girlfriend or your best friend. Just yourself on an artist date to sort of fill yourself with that, you know, with beauty and that inspiration, and then you like relax, and then you come back and you're full of like ideas, and you relax, and your body's relaxed, and your mind is relaxed, and you have this motivation to do things. So in this video, I'll just break it down really quick into sort of the three parts. So part one, what is a self date? So you take yourself out, or you take yourself in during Corona times, but it's dedicated time for yourself to do something enjoyable for you, treating yourself to something, some food that you really like. My personal choice is like you're watching a movie that you really wanted to watch, or something that just makes you feel good, makes you relax, or you go out and see something that is cool, that is inspiring. So for me, once a week, I treat myself to a little self date in an afternoon for a few hours. Doesn't have to be very long, and the emphasis is on the self part. So I don't bring a friend, I don't bring a girlfriend. I'm also not on my phone. I don't bring a notepad. It's just me experiencing something that makes me feel good. During social times, my favorite thing to do is to get a burrito, and then I go to the movies. I smoke a little bit outside, and then I put the burrito in my hoodie, and then I go into the movies, and I just have this like super enjoyable 2-hour experience with them. I'm fully immersed, right? I'm just watching this thing that I wanted to watch. There's nothing else to think about. I'm just there enjoying the story for about 2 hours, and then I get to eat something yummy, and then I buy like an ice cream and something like that. And at the end, I forgot about the stress that I had. I forgot about the problems or like the self-pressure of, you know, making more music or making this or producing more. It's like it's replenishing. I would come back and maybe not make music that night, but I would feel good for the next day to, okay, now I'm relaxed. I'm starting from this relaxed place to start to make something new. Think of when you are taking a shower, just how your mind, like there's nothing else to do, right? You're in that shower, you're just like relaxing and all these ideas come to mind. Well, the idea of the self-date is sort of like an extended version of that, right? You have a longish period of time where you're not expected to do anything, you're not expected to be thinking or producing anything, you're not achieving anything, you're just kind of like there. Part two, so what are some examples of this? For example, recently, the other day, I went for the slowest bike ride I've ever gone on. Just super slow. I was barely pedaling. I went out, I think on a Saturday, maybe like around 2 or something. Biked around super slow. I didn't have a destination in mind necessarily. I stopped to see some street art, some cool murals. I stopped for a second. I didn't have anywhere to be, and it was sunny and great, so I brought some water and I brought some snacks. And that's it, like that's all it takes. Just having enough time that your mind can relax and you can forget about the stresses and like the self-imposed things, and you can see something that is inspiring. So that something like that works. And other examples, again, in olden times, I've gone to a museum to see some shows and like dance performances, a dinner, something that I really, really wanted. Like I really like sushi. So other things you can do. So dinner from somewhere, you can still get takeout. And you could do movie on your computer in your car at some place that is beautiful. So for example, you could drive to like top of a hill, the beach, or a cliff somewhere, chill there for a few hours, watch a movie. Nature, anything with nature is amazing. Go on a hike, go on your bike, anything with trees, being out, getting some sun is amazing. Any kind of performance, at least right here, some folks who are doing like community performances, but you can still get like live music, and some people are doing other kinds of performances and things like that. Other things, hot tubs, which you can do if you have a hot tub at home, just walking around town. A bike ride is super dope. So part 3 is making this self-date actually happen. A few years ago when I started making more music, I wanted to take these self-dates. The thing that I was doing was telling myself that I wanted to do that, but then forgetting about it. Something else would come up and I would go to the second thing that was maybe more exciting. So I just kept pushing it a lot, right? I would do it once and then I wouldn't do it for 3 weeks and then I'd do it again. The thing that really helped was scheduling it. So really putting it in the calendar. This date at this time, I'm gonna do this self-date. And then sticking to it. So I'm not gonna move it. I'm not gonna schedule something over it. Kind of treating it the way that like a job call or like a phone interview or something. Like you would schedule it and you probably would not move it, right? It's like gold, right? You're not gonna move that. And then sticking to it, doing it every week. Did it once, then that weekend I scheduled another one. And then another thing that really helped was telling people about it. Some people would ask me like, oh, and I tell them like, oh, I have this self-date. And they would inquire about it. And I tell them, the more you tell people, the more real it becomes too. So the advice to you is if you want to replenish and feel inspired and motivated to make more music, then take yourself on these weekly, regular self-dates. Just yourself, don't distract yourself, not the phone. Listen to music, watch a movie, see something beautiful, experience something beautiful that makes you inspired. Schedule it in, put it in the calendar, and then stick to it and tell people about it. Like if someone asks you, just tell them like I'm doing this thing. It may motivate them to do something similar, and it's probably very good. Oh yeah, the last thing I wanted to say, if you're feeling depleted of this creative energy, I would say don't push yourself. I feel like a lot of people are always saying just keep making stuff, and if you're uninspired, just start with a beat and start with something. If you're uninspired, you're uninspired, but then do something about it. Don't just stay in uninspired land. You're uninspired or unmotivated, but then you're gonna you can take yourself on a little self-date and get inspired, versus trying to push through something that doesn't feel good at the moment. So I would say don't push through it. I would say create a solution like this artist date that actually gives you positivity and then bring that back into making music. Hope that works for you. Let me know in the comments. Let me know how it worked out, what you did, and if you've been sticking to it. All right, cheers.